You. Come over here.
Wait, come on, just...
Do you know him?
What's going on?
Come with me, just come.
Was this you?
No.
What's going on?
Why did you do this?
The story opens by introducing Harry, a college wrestling coach with a background in the U.S. military. After leaving the service, he dedicated his life to coaching and began offering wrestling lessons to students as a way to stay occupied and disciplined. One evening, Harry's routine is abruptly shattered when he receives a call from Detective Jones. Jones informs him that his daughter, Jane, has been brutally assaulted by her boyfriend and is now lying unconscious in a hospital bed, trapped in a coma. Overcome with shock and disbelief, Harry rushes to the hospital. Sitting beside Jane's bed, he stares helplessly as her condition steadily worsens. Shortly afterward, Jones approaches him with an update, explaining that Jane's boyfriend has been arrested and has confessed to attacking her. During questioning, the man admits that he tried to force himself on Jane, and when she rejected him, his anger spiraled out of control, leading to the violent assault that left her comatose. Enraged by what he hears, Harry demands that Jones ensure the attacker receives the harshest punishment possible, warning that if the law fails, he will take matters into his own hands. Not long after Jones leaves, Jane's condition suddenly declines. Doctors and nurses rush in, desperately trying to save her, while Harry can do nothing but watch in silence. Tragically, their efforts fail and Jane passes away, leaving Harry completely broken. Days later, he attends the trial concerning his daughter's death. After a prolonged court process, the judge sentences Jane's attacker to life in prison. Although the verdict offers Harry a small sense of justice, it does nothing to ease the pain of losing his daughter. After the trial concludes, Harry attempts to return to a normal routine, but the weight of his daughter's death refuses to fade. He spends his days lost in memories, often staring at old photographs of Jane, while his nights are filled with alcohol as he tries to numb the pain. Detective Jones eventually calls to check on him, concerned about how he is coping. Not wanting to raise alarms or appear weak, Harry tells Jones that he is doing fine and thanks him for handling Jane's case. Before ending the call, Jones reminds Harry that he is only a phone call away if he ever needs help. The following evening, Harry decides to leave the house and distract himself by going to a movie theater. His attempt at escape is interrupted when he notices a young man aggressively harassing a woman seated nearby. Angered by the behavior, Harry confronts the man and scolds him, even throwing popcorn in his direction. After the movie ends, the same man corners Harry outside the theater, clearly looking for trouble. Harry calmly tells him to take his flirting elsewhere, which only enrages the man further. He pulls out a knife, but Harry's military training and wrestling experience quickly take over. In seconds, Harry disarms and subdues him with ease, leaving the man helpless. The following day, Harry returns to his job as a wrestling coach, throwing himself back into training as a way to stay focused. He pays particular attention to one of his students, Katya, offering her extra instruction, encouragement, and personal guidance. He even suggests private lessons to help her improve further. Harry's attachment to Katya goes beyond coaching, as her face and mannerisms constantly remind him of his late daughter, Jane. In many ways, he begins projecting his grief onto Katya, seeing her as someone he needs to protect. That evening, after finishing her wrestling practice, Katya heads home. Upon arriving, she is immediately confronted by her stepfather, Tom, who is furious that she did not bring him food. Trying to avoid an argument, Katya retreats to her room, but when she slams the door, Tom explodes with rage. Accusing her of being disrespectful and disobedient, he strikes her across the face and orders her to leave. Enraged and pushed beyond her limits, Katya fights back and hits him. The situation only ends when her mother, Linda, steps in and breaks up the confrontation. Emotionally exhausted from Tom's ongoing abuse and feeling unsupported as Linda's daughter, Katya decides to leave the house despite her mother's desperate attempts to stop her. As Harry drives home that night, he notices Katya sitting alone at a bus stop. Concerned, he pulls over and invites her to sit in his car so they can talk. He then takes her to a nearby restaurant where Katya opens up about her life at home. She explains that her stepfather constantly yells at her and treats her harshly, and that she finally left after Tom threw her out of the house. Listening closely, Harry urges her to return home, reminding her that her mother must be worried sick. He also promises that he will personally speak to Tom about his behavior. Harry does all of this because he has begun to see Katya as a daughter figure and cannot bear the thought of losing someone he cares about again. Reassured by his words, Katya agrees to go back home, and Harry drives her there himself. The next day, Harry resumes his coaching duties as usual. During practice, he notices a bruise on Katya's face, confirming that Tom's abuse has continued. After class ends, Harry goes directly to Katya's house to confront Tom. Upon arriving, he gives Katya some money so she can buy food and asks to speak with Tom privately. Harry pleads with him to stop mistreating Katya, explaining that his actions are damaging her emotionally and mentally. He warns Tom that if the abuse continues, he will report him to the authorities for child abuse. Tom shows no concern and arrogantly tells Harry to stay out of matters that do not involve him. Enraged by Tom's indifference, Harry grabs him and violently twists his arm. The next day, while Harry is in the middle of coaching a wrestling session, he is unexpectedly called in by the police after Tom files a formal complaint against him. At the police station, Harry comes face to face with Detective Jones, who is clearly surprised to learn that Harry physically assaulted Tom. Harry does not deny what he did and openly admits to it, explaining in detail the abuse Katya has been suffering at the hands of her stepfather. Jones appears to believe Harry's account and advises him to keep a low profile while he looks further into the situation. Meanwhile, back at home, Tom reaches out to an associate named Sergio, a man connected to Rich, a powerful mafia figure involved in human trafficking. Tom tells Sergio about his conflict involving Katya. Seeing an opportunity, Sergio offers Tom $10,000 in exchange for selling Katya to wealthy clients through an underground auction. Without hesitation, Tom agrees to the deal and promises to hand her over once she finishes her college classes. After ending the call with Sergio, Tom contacts Katya and pretends to be worried about her well-being. He tells her that he wants to pick her up from campus and also collect Linda from her workplace. Katya is surprised by his sudden change in attitude, but she agrees, hoping things may finally improve. When her classes end, she finds Tom waiting outside the college and gets into his car, completely unaware of the danger she is walking into. The following evening, Harry receives a call from Detective Jones, who informs him that the police have just received a missing person report from a distressed mother. Jones reveals that the woman is Linda, desperately searching for her daughter, Katya. The moment Harry realizes Katya has vanished, he rushes to the college to check the security footage. Upon arriving, he asks a security guard to show him recordings from the previous day. As he watches the footage, Harry sees Tom picking Katya up from campus shortly before she disappeared, confirming his worst fears. Convinced that Katya's disappearance is no coincidence, Harry immediately suspects her stepfather. He goes straight to Tom and calmly questions him about Katya's whereabouts. Instead of cooperating, Tom responds with arrogance and refuses to give any answers. Losing patience, Harry resorts to violence and beats Tom until he finally breaks down and admits that he handed Katya over to a man named Sergio. Harry then forces Tom into his car and makes him lead the way to Sergio's location. When Harry storms into Sergio's residence, Sergio is caught completely off guard, prompting him to shove Tom aside. Without hesitation, Harry attacks Sergio and demands to know where Katya has been taken. Unable to withstand the beating, Sergio confesses that Katya was sold to Rich, a powerful man who runs an illegal human trafficking operation out of a casino hotel in Las Vegas. Sergio explains that Rich auctions off kidnapped girls to wealthy buyers, allowing the highest bidder to do whatever they want with them. Furious over the cruelty inflicted on Katya and the other victims, Harry locks both Sergio and Tom inside a room before immediately setting off for Las Vegas. Before heading any further, Harry contacts Detective Jones and explains that Katya has been abducted by a powerful mafia boss involved in human trafficking. He urges Jones to assist in rescuing her as quickly as possible. After receiving this information, Jones visits Linda to inform her of what has happened to her daughter and where she is believed to be taken. Once Linda learns the truth, she insists on being involved in the rescue effort. Although hesitant, Jones ultimately agrees and prepares to head to Las Vegas alongside Harry. Upon arriving at the casino hotel in Las Vegas, Harry disguises himself as a potential buyer looking to participate in the illegal auction. He is brought to meet Dale, the hotel's manager, who questions how Harry learned about the secret operation. Thinking quickly, Harry lies and claims that Sergio tipped him off, saying they were close associates within the criminal network. Satisfied and viewing Harry as no immediate threat, Dale hands him a room key and informs him that a virtual auction is scheduled to take place later that night at exactly 11 at night. While waiting in his hotel room, Harry contacts Detective Jones, who has already arrived at the Las Vegas Police Department. During the conversation, Harry urges Jones not to send police units to the casino just yet, explaining that he still hasn't located Katya or confirmed where the girls are being held. However, the Las Vegas police chief, Vanessa, initially dismisses Harry's request and insists on launching an immediate raid. Angered, Harry warns that a premature operation would only cause the traffickers to hide or move the captive girls, putting them in even greater danger. He proposes a different plan. He will pose as a buyer, take part in the auction, and uncover the exact location of the captives. Once he has that information, the police can move in. After considering his explanation, Vanessa reluctantly agrees to follow Harry's strategy. Exactly at 11, Harry logs into the virtual auction, where photos of multiple young women appear one by one. The moment Katya's image appears on the screen, Harry immediately places a bid. However, a wealthy bidder from the Middle East quickly outbids him, forcing Harry to raise his offer repeatedly. Despite his efforts, Harry ultimately loses the auction. Realizing time is running out, he immediately calls Jones and demands that police units be dispatched to the casino hotel without delay. Without waiting any longer, Harry begins searching the casino for any trace of Katya or the other girls being held captive. At the same time, Jones and his team mobilize and head toward the casino hotel after receiving Harry's urgent call. Harry corners Dale and aggressively questions him about Katya's location. Under pressure, Dale finally reveals that Katya is not being kept at the hotel, but has been transferred to Rich's main headquarters, a warehouse located near the airport. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Harry immediately informs Jones of the warehouse location before heading there himself. Upon arriving at the warehouse, Harry pretends to be a buyer who has come to collect Katya after supposedly winning her in the auction. However, Rich's trusted enforcer, Martin, stops him at the entrance and refuses to let him inside, insisting that he needs direct approval from Rich. Thinking quickly, Harry lies again, claiming that he is a close associate of Rich and has already been given permission to retrieve his chosen girl. Martin, convinced by Harry's confidence and story, allows him to enter the building, assigning one of his men to escort him to Katya. When Katya sees Harry inside the warehouse, she instinctively calls him her coach, immediately alerting the guard escorting them that the two know each other. Realizing there is no longer any way to maintain his cover, Harry launches into action and quickly overpowers the goon. He then rushes Katya and the other captive girls into a lower area of the building, hoping to keep them hidden and safe. Before he can escape, Rich suddenly appears and ruins Harry's plan. He orders Martin to move all the girls back into the holding room while he deals with Harry personally. Rich draws his gun and corners Harry, preparing to execute him. Just as Rich is about to pull the trigger, Detective Jones and his police unit storm the warehouse and open fire, stopping Rich in time. With the traffickers taken down, Harry and the police successfully rescue Katya and the other victims, exposing the entire human trafficking operation. Katya is finally reunited with her mother, Linda, who has been desperately waiting for her safe return. In the closing moments, Jones approaches Harry and mentions that he has another case that could use Harry's help, hinting at what may come next. And that is how it ended. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.